it's MW Raygo here, games, movies, and vlogs. How the hell is everybody? And it's the first of the month, so you all know what that means. It's movie haul day. This video is most likely gonna be uploaded tomorrow on June 2nd, 2022 here, because as I'm gonna be doing this, I'm gonna be doing a huge binge on Angry Video Game Nerd, you know, one of the biggest YouTubers in friggin' history here. So yeah, he has like I think 15 seasons of his show of Angry AVGN. Okay, sorry about that. One almost belched, and two, there was a hair stuck to the camera, so I was trying to get that out. Anyways, sadly, no figure unboxing this time. So it's just movies. I wasn't able to get a figure. I almost did. I almost got a NECA Godzilla 2001 from Zia's, but even with the points on my Zia's account and the Zia shirt, even with the discounts, I couldn't get it. So, but you never know. Maybe next time I'll get it. Maybe next time I'll get a figure and do an unboxing for that. But right now it's just movies, and this one is actually going to be pretty short because the movies I bought two of them from Walmart. So yeah, I didn't really get as many movies this time because the prices on these were a little high. So on I think like 90, like majority of the prices were like higher than usual on the movie. So yeah, this is gonna be a short movie haul for this month. But before I even talk about the movies, there's a movie I saw at Zia's today that now let me ask you guys something. Is the movie I'm about to show, is this like a cash in on the first Top Gun or some shit? Because the cover and the font of the title looks so much like Top Gun, and also the fact that Laura Dern's in it. For those of you who don't know, Laura Dern is Ellie Sattler from Jurassic Park. So yeah, I'm gonna show that for a few seconds here before I talk about the movie. So yeah, let's see what I got, shall we? In a little bit. Okay, so one thing you probably noticed is, what do you call? Sorry, I almost belched. Sorry. One thing you probably noticed on this video is that there's no section for me, flipping off Wild Eye movies. That's because I didn't see any new ones to flip off. To be perfectly honest, I only saw the ones that I flipped off last month. So, or when I did last month. I really, you know what, I want to apologize. I really am sorry that last month's movie haul video was uploaded so damn late. I am so sorry. Like, I got caught up in doing that MonsterVerse explain video. I got caught up in doing that, so that it took me a while to do that, even though that 3.5 minutes don't really seem like much. So yeah, so no Wild Eye flip off this time. So yeah, let's get on to our movie, shall we? Sadly, yeah, no figure unboxing this time, which really does suck. But like I said at the beginning of this video, maybe next time. So to start off, our first movie is well, thanks to Spider-Man No Way Home, Marvel Multiverse, every Marvel movie, is all in the same thing, so all in the same franchise here. So to start off, we have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, this movie, what do you call, when it comes to who plays Spider-Man, now you guys know me, movies that a lot of people say are horrible, bad, you know, I do enjoy them because I take movies for how they are, except Wild Eye and half of SRS Cinema's shit, except those. But I heard this one is just like the writing is what killed this movie, I guess. And I remember, I can't remember when this came out, like 2014 it looks like it says. Yeah, 2014. I remember when this was coming out, they overhyped like the Rhino. They said like, oh yeah, the Rhino's gonna be in it, and come to find out, he's literally only in the movie for shit, man, not even a minute. Probably a minute, and he shows up right in mid credits. So that was wasted potential. And then you got, well, Electro here covered up by the price. You know, yeah, this movie got a lot of bad rep, but I remember I watched this movie with my family. It was my mom and my grandparents. We watched it up at a cabin in Bullhead City, and for those of you who don't know, sorry, itchy nose. Bullhead City is across the river, quite literally across the river from Laughlin to here in Nevada. So I remember one time my grandparents rented a cabin up there, and Mom and I went up and stayed up there for like, I think it was like 3 days or something like that. And Amazing Spider-Man 2 was one of the movies my grandpa rented, so we all watched it. And that was a long ass time ago. I think that was like 2015 or 2016 that happened. You know, it was a long time ago. So the Rhino bit is like the only part of the movie that I really remember. And then Jamie Foxx's character, Jamie Foxx's Electro, like in Spider-Man No Way Home, Electro was a lot more badass in that movie. He got a lot more recognition. But in this movie, his introduction is, it's Amazing Spider-Man 2 here. His introduction is just like, oh my god. I don't know why they wrote him so, here's a better view of him. I don't know why they wrote his character before he became Electro so, I don't know what it is. It's just the writing on that was not that, was to me anyway, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you MCU fans would agree on this. It was not that good. Like, they wrote him as like the nerdy tech dude that nobody pays attention to, and like they do the big cliche of like, you know, someone who works at a big corporation gets pissed off and then becomes a bad guy, you know. It's like, I don't know if that's Electro's real comic book origin. Like I said, when it comes to the MCU, the only comic books that I've ever really read when it comes to Marvel is the Godzilla King of the Monsters, which on that bookshelf over there, I have. Any comic book aficionado should know the Godzilla King of the Monsters from the 24-issue series that came out in the 1970s, which, I'm going to say this right now, are a hell of a lot better than the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla that came out around, that aired on TV around the same time. What do you call it? And then there's the Captain America comics, and I've read God knows how many. I've read so much Captain America, it's not even funny. And then there is one of the newer Captain America comics, The Man with No Face, which, well, I'm not gonna go any further with that. I'll talk about it in whatever. I'll talk about it in one of these movies here. But yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent here, but on a little side rant or off topic here. But like I said, I don't know if I've never read any Spider-Man comics at all, so I don't know if Electro's origin is how it was in the comics. But yeah, I don't really remember much of this movie, but it's part of the MCU now, so it's like you gotta get them all, even though it's got a rep for being a very like wasted potential movie or whatever, you know. And also, it's Spider-Man. Like a lot of the movies with him in it, a lot of Spider-Man movies are actually cool. Well, except the 1960s one, except that. So yeah, so that's the first movie I have for this month's movie haul. That's the good shit right here. Okay, so now for our second movie. Now I went on that whole tangent about Captain America. Well, our second movie is what takes place after Thor: The Dark World, and that is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Now, this movie, it's like Amazing Spider-Man 2. I've only seen it like one time. I've only seen it like once, and I don't really have I don't honestly have very memories with this, other than seeing I think the one scene, I don't remember if it's from this movie or not, but there's like one scene. Oh wait, no, that's from Civil War. Never mind. But and I just want to give a little shout out to my boy KMD. Sorry, KMD Allen. Because he said this is his favorite Captain America suit right here. Or it's either this one or the dark blue one from the beginning. But overall, I'm at his favorite Captain America movie. So, yeah, a little shout out to my boy. I'm now at this point in the MCU. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't really have that many memories of this movie, to be perfectly honest with you. I just remember the one shot where the Winter Soldier catches Cap's shield, and you know, that was like the little reveal there, I guess. But what's so weird about this movie is that, you know, you would think the whole movie would focus on the Winter Soldier, but it doesn't, which is really weird. Like, I remember at least that much of this movie. Like, you'd think it would, but it focuses mainly on Steve Rogers, you know, dealing with Nick Fury and all the bullshit going on with, you know, SHIELD and everything. So yeah, that's kind of weird for this kind of movie. I mean, I guess I'm not sure if this is a good comparison or not, but it kind of reminds me of like Godzilla 2014, where it's like the movie focuses on the Mutos like 80% of the movie, and Godzilla's like, he's there to hunt the Mutos, and it's like, okay, it's kind of like, you would think a movie called Godzilla, you would think that the movie would focus on him, but it doesn't. So it's like, that's kind of reminds me of this, and hell, both of these movies came out in, I believe, I think this came out in like 2014 or 2015. I don't remember when this came out, to be perfectly honest with you, but I think it came out I don't really remember when this movie came out. All I know is that it takes place after, it's the next MCU movie after Thor: The Dark World. And yeah, when I was saying earlier how many Captain America comic books I've read, oh good lord, like every comic book aficionado knows the Marvel Essentials, and the Marvel Essentials are these, I'm not kidding, they're these thick ass comic books that they're like about that thick, and they're just a bunch of different issues piled into one thing. And there is like, I've read, I think, like 10 volumes of Captain America, which is a shitload. But when it comes to suits of Captain America, my all-time favorite suit will always be the one from Avengers Endgame, the scaly suit, because that's the suit from the comics. Like, I love the fact that the MCU finally brought in Captain America's comic book suit into the movies, and that the Endgame suit, when he's fighting Thanos with Thor's hammer, Exactly. So that'll always be my favorite suit. But I will say, this dark blue one on the cover here, blue is my favorite color. So I will give it credit. I do like this suit, to be perfectly honest with you. But my favorite will always be the one from Endgame. It's the one on the Endgame poster. For those of you who don't know what suit I'm talking about. But yeah, like I said, I don't have very memories with this. There's like that one scene with the Winter Soldier, and the fact that this movie doesn't really focus on the Winter Soldier as much as it should. Oh yeah, and then you got Black Widow over here in the back. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say about this one. Am I gonna keep taking 2 sips of this before I talk about each movie? You damn right I am. Okay, so in lieu of the huge amount of bullshit that went down between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard here, thank God Johnny Depp won. I will forever stick by that. Usually I avoid talking anything, well, I wouldn't really consider this political, but thank God Johnny Depp won. Thank Christ, that's all I'm going to say. Thank Johnny Depp, Captain Jack Sparrow, thank God you won this trial. Thank you. Thank Christ that you won. So, in lieu of that, of all this bullshit, next movie that I got is a movie that is part of the DC, what was it? I call it the live action DC universe. I don't know why they call it the DC extended universe. That extended part makes no sense to me. I don't know why they even put that shit in there. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why couldn't they call it the DCCU, the DC Cinematic Universe? Because, that's pretty much what it is. So, I don't know why they call it the extended... that extended part is stupid. Like, that is a really shitty name for it, to be perfectly honest with you. So, in lieu of all of that, I have Aquaman, one of Jason Momoa's, like, his best friggin' movie, and this is getting a sequel, and apparently Amber Heard's not going to be in it, thank Christ. But for this first movie, it is amazing. Like, I got this, actually, because, for 2 reasons. One, I'm trying to, get all of the the live-action DC Universe movies, and also my mom wanted to watch this movie because of the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. When I told her Amber Heard was in this movie, yeah, see, there she is, right there, the red-headed chick. I really do not remember what her character's name is. So, yeah, then you got badass Black Manta right there, who, oh my god, that is amazing. But as a movie itself, this is a really fun movie. I mean, when it comes to superhero movies, I know a lot of them are like, major hit or misses, but to be perfectly honest, at least 80% of them are amazing. And this is one of those movies that is really good. It's a fun movie to watch, despite who else plays in it. Jason Momoa's performance, I mean, he literally, like, the way that I was told, actually, and I can kinda see it, is that Jason Momoa, when he does his dialogue, it flows. Like, he does it naturally, and then Amber Heard just looks like her acting is like, she's too much, like, she sticks too much to the script, I guess. I don't know if it's an odd thing to say. It's like, the way she says her lines is like, she sticks to the script too much, and it doesn't flow as well as Jason Momoa does. And come to find out, Jason Momoa and Amber Heard, Jason Momoa can't stand her. He couldn't stand her while they were making this movie. So the fact that this movie is this good, despite that, is insane. So But for those of you movie fans or DC fans or superhero fans, really, what do you call? Despite the trial with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, y'all definitely gotta watch this movie. This is a great movie. And Aquaman, dude, just the opening scene, like when he's an adult with the time skips, when he's an adult and he just hops onto the submarine full of terrorists, you know, when they go into Black Manta's origin here. It's like, oh my god, he's like a oceanic version of Superman, really, to be honest with you. But I love the fact that this is getting a 2, because this was a really great movie. I'm a huge fan of Atlantis. I love Atlantis. I love, like, all the stories you can do with it, and I'm going to tell you this right now, I am one of those people that do believe that Atlantis actually did exist at one point. I mean, call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but, yeah, I do believe that it existed at one point. You know, you never know. You never freaking know, right? The oceans are are just super unexplored, and why I turned the camera down a second ago, I have no idea, so I apologize for that. Okay, so, anyways, definitely go and watch this movie. This is a badass. Like, this is a badass movie. And when it comes to Aquaman, I do love, though, how at some point in this movie, they don't have the picture of it. I do love, though, how in this movie that his outfit towards, like, I think the beginning of the third act is where that point is where he gets his trademark orange and green suit. And I love that because I've always grown up with Aquaman having that his orange and green suit. But at first, you know, as much as I love Jason Momoa, love this version of Aquaman, because I remember Aquaman always speaking kind of like Thor a little bit, but when I first saw Justice League, and I mean the shitty version of Justice League, you know, the 2-hour version from 2017, that I see it on DVD all over the place. So it's like, I highly doubt people are really buying it, to be honest with you. When I first saw that version, when I first saw the original version of Justice League, I had a problem with Aquaman talking like a surfer dude. I was not a fan of that. Like, I was expecting him to, like I said a little bit ago, talk like Thor, but he didn't talk that way, and he just talked like surfer guy, the surfer dude. And I mean, look at Jason Momoa, like, surfer dude, just look at that. I mean, seriously. I wasn't a fan of it, but now it's one of those things that grew on me, you know what I mean? It's like superhero movies, like, they take a hero that's supposed to be around for like thousands of years or whatever, and they modernize the dialogue to where he fits in with the time period that he or she is in, and I do happen to like that. So the surfer dude talk from him is what grew on me over the years here since 2017. So yeah, definitely check this movie out, guys. It's well worth the time to watch, despite, you know, who else is in it. So yeah, definitely go see it. Now, on to the next movie. I can never get enough of these. Like, for those of you who live in Las Vegas, you go up to either like Walgreens or CVS, and they're literally only a buck. Like, no joke. They're like 99 cents. So I can never get enough of that stuff. So this next movie we have here, everybody knows this movie. Everybody does, and it is kind of sad that it's out on DVD already. I mean, it's only been like what, like a few months. I mean, I guess that's kind of a good time to go on DVD, I guess. But here we go. We got The Batman. Now, y'all gonna laugh at this. Look at this. The original price for this movie was $27, or, well, I know it says $26.99, but I always round up. So it's like 27 bucks, and I, no joke, got it on sale for 20 bucks. Now, that's insane that this movie came out this year and it was already on sale for 20 bucks. I mean, dead ass. Now, I have seen nothing but good reviews on this movie, so I can't wait until I see it. And also, I love how Robert Pattinson is actually in a good freaking movie instead of the shitty Twilight movies. It's cringe just saying the name and knowing that this actor's from those movies. Little little bitchy ass sparkly vampire. Oh god, I don't even like talking about him. I don't even like talking about those movies. It's just oh good god, it is all I gotta say to Twilight and the Twilight franchise, movie franchise. I mean, and also Kristen Stewart. She played in that monster movie Underwater, you know, and she's like the hero of that movie. You know, thank God she's in a better movie also. Like, Jesus. Anyways, I had to get this because Batman is my second favorite DC hero. So, honest to God, I had to get this movie, and the fact that managed to get it for literally 20 bucks is insane. I can't believe like this movie already went on sale at Zia's, and I love the fact, I mean, you can see the name that I'm pointing to, if you guys can see it, Matt Reeves. Now, Matt Reeves is the dude who directed, I think he directed the first Cloverfield movie. He did the first Cloverfield movie, and then he also did War for the Planet of the, no, he did Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes. Now, I'm pretty sure he's done a shitload of other science fiction movies, but those are the only ones I've seen of his. And then there's this movie. So it's like the fourth movie that I will know that Matt Reeves has done. And Matt Reeves is that, and the reason why that this movie has nothing but good reviews across the frickin' board is that Matt Reeves is one of those few directors in Hollywood nowadays who actually give a shit. And he even said it when Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was being made. He even said that 20th Century Fox handed him like the pitch or handed him the screenplay or whatever it was, handed him something, and he even said to Fox, he said, I'm not making this movie the way you want me to. You either let me make this movie how I want or I ain't doing it at all. So, I mean, thank you, Matt Reeves. I mean, if you ever are one of those few directors that watch people's opinions on their movies, you know, thank God that you're one of those people in Hollywood who actually give a shit. You know what I mean? Because the first Cloverfield, I'm a huge found footage fanatic. Actually, you know what? It was Matt Reeves. If you're ever watching this, if you ever do, that movie, the first Cloverfield from 2008, that's the movie that got me into the found footage genre. I love found footage movies, except Blair Witch Project. I'm not a fan of that movie. It's nothing ever happens in it. I really don't like that movie. It's, to me, in my opinion, that movie's trash. The one from 1996, it's a literal piece of shit, and nothing, because it's not even scary. Nothing ever happens in that movie. But Matt Reeves, the fact that you took like okay, I know I said that about Blair Witch Project, and then there's Cloverfield, the very first Cloverfield. Now, I swear to Christ, nobody in the freaking comments better not start saying, oh, you're just saying Cloverfield's great because it's a giant monster movie. Bullshit, okay? Bullshit, okay? I'm gonna straighten that out right now. Blair Witch Project, nothing happens in it. Nothing. Literally, that movie is 90 minutes. Like, the first, I think, like, 15 minutes, it had an okay little, like, lore, I guess, lore establishment. And then the rest of the time, they just see, like, a few piles of rocks and a few sticks placed in a weird way. How's that supposed to scare anybody? I mean, seriously, the movie's not scary. That movie is not scary. The first Blair Witch is. The movie that's called Blair Witch, the one that Adam Wingard did, that came out in like that came out in the 2010s. I don't remember when it came out, but at least that movie actually looks scary. You know, the original Blair Witch Project. I'm sorry, it's oh good lord. Like I watched it one time and I'm like, this movie sucks. To me anyway. What do you call so? And why am I talking about that? Because like Matt Reeves, you're the guy with the first Cloverfield that actually got me into the found footage genre. It's like it's the reason why I love Paranormal Activity. You know what I mean? It's the reason why I love those movies. So yeah, I love that Matt Reeves is one of those directors in Hollywood that he makes the movie the way he wants to make the movie. And the fact that this movie I found out is like 2 hours, like 2 hours and 54 minutes long, that's insane. Like Matt Reeves really had a vision for Batman and he put it in this movie. So when I get to I can't wait to watch this. This is one of those movies that I wanted to go see in theaters, but I sadly never got the chance. But here it is in my hands, physically in my hands. So I can't wait till I watch this movie. You know, because like I said a little bit ago, like Batman's my second favorite DC hero. First one being Superman. Now, I know y'all are probably going to ask me, well, who plays a better Batman? You got Ben Affleck. Well, I mean modern Batman, because, you know, there's Michael Keaton and George Clooney. I haven't really been that heavily into the original 4 Batman movies, you know, from the 80s and 90s, so I don't really have an opinion on those. But when it comes to, like, the modern-day Batman of Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and Robert Pattinson, from what I mean, I love the Dark Knight movies. Christopher Nolan, he does great, but I love all of them equal because each actor has a different stamp on the character. The way they act and the way that the movie is written. So I love them all equally. I can't really pick a favorite, to be perfectly honest with you. But I do hope, though, that Matt Reeves, with the success of this movie, I really hope Matt Reeves, I hope to God, that you do the Reeves verse, where you take DC heroes and actually do a cinematic universe with this, because like I said, I haven't seen this, but from what I've heard, this movie's great, and I bet you Matt Reeves, you can do the same with Superman. Like, I know Zack Snyder made Superman badass when it comes to the live-action DC universe, you know, with Henry Cavill, but, you know, I bet you can do a Superman movie that's just as good as this, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I know I've talked about this movie for going on, like, almost 10 minutes, but I am so excited that I got this movie. So, yeah, I know I just kind of went off on like a little fan rant about this. You know what I mean? Oh man. Okay. So for our next movie, like the last, I think, 2 movie hauls I have. Why do I keep tilting the camera down? I don't know why I keep doing that. Sorry about that. Now for the last 2, I think it was the last 2 movie hauls. You all know I'm a huge. Well, actually, before I talk about that, now let me ask you this: have all you guys out there? Is there like that one movie that you know it exists, you know it's out there, but you've never seen it on DVD, or maybe you might have seen the name or like the title on the TV guide or something like that, but you've never watched it? It's like a movie that you know it exists. It exists, but you've never bought it or watched it or any of that. Well, that's the next movie that I have in this month's movie haul. And also, you all know I am a huge Asylum fan. So the next movie we have is this movie, 100 Ghost Street, The Return of Richard Speck. Now, this movie, apparently it's found footage. So I'm a huge found footage fan, so that kind of makes me excited already to see this. And already this movie is now the thing with the Asylum is that they used to be they used to do just horror movies, and this movie came out in 2012 it looks like. So they used to do just horror until the year 2005 when when they made King of the Lost World to cash in on the 2005 King Kong movie, and then after that they did drama films, western, comedy, a shitload of science fiction movies, and some monster movies too, or creature movies really. And this was, and there I do have a little backstory with this movie actually, because when I first got into the Asylum, I was in high school, and I first started learning about who the Asylum were and started getting into their movies. And there's this idea that I had a while back where I would, on my laptop, it's not on my current laptop, I know it's on my older laptop, which is in one of my, I think it's like in the middle drawer of my dresser right here. What I did was I took a bunch of the posters or the pictures of the DVD covers off of Google Images as like a list of Asylum movies, so I know which ones I have and which ones I didn't. And this movie was one of them, and I can't believe I've been an Asylum fan literally since I think, shit man, like since freshman or sophomore year of high school, which is a long ass time, which is going on like 10 years, and I can't believe I've never seen this movie until now. Like, I've never seen this on DVD nowhere. And that's insane. Like, when I first saw the title here on the side, I'm like, holy shit, this movie. I'm like, holy shit, this movie. So, yeah, this is crazy that I'm happy I found this, because it's one that I haven't really been looking for it. When it comes to Asylum movies, I just happen to come upon them and I buy them. I don't actively go looking for it. Well, except Bigfoot. Bigfoot from 2012, starring Barry Williams, Danny Bonaducci, and Alice Cooper getting drop kicked. I am actively looking for that one, because that one is actually one of my favorite Asylum movies. I know it's for free to watch on YouTube, but like the rest of my Asylum collection, I want it on a physical DVD copy. So yeah, that is the one Asylum movie I'm actively looking for. But I just so can't believe, like, I've known about this movie since the year, since freshman or sophomore year of high school, and it's like, oh my god, I finally find it. But, and also, I thought, judging by the cover here, I thought it was going to be like a slasher movie or something like that, but it's a found footage horror movie, and you can tell by the back of this cover, like, I just love how the front of the cover, it's a slasher film, but then you look at the back of the cover and you look at these screenshots, and it's a found footage movie, but it looks pretty terrifying. Like, it actually looks pretty scary. Now, of course, this movie's gonna have Asylum CG, some anyway, not a whole bunch, but just look at that. Like, look at this. Like, you can see here, look at, like, there's a serious blood trail up here, and and then there's this dude, and then when you look at the screenshots down here, it looks pretty. Oh god, what the hell is going on here? Oh god, this movie actually does look kind of, kind of scary. I'm very interested to watch it, and I know I said it once or twice already, and I apologize for repeating myself, but I just so can't believe I found this movie after 10 years of knowing that this movie existed. And I've been going to Zia's for longer than that. I've been going to Zia's for, I think, like 12 years. So, the fact that I've now finally found this is insane to me. So, I can't wait until whenever I watch that movie, really. go. Okay, so I think we're like halfway done with the stack of movies, and like I said, it's not as many movies as I got last time. So. And also, if you hear some like odd vibrating noise in the back, that's my phone going off. That's my notification noise. So yeah. Anyways, this next movie, it's an asylum movie as well. I found it at Walmart. I found it at Walmart today, and usually Walmart, like, before the pandemic, Walmart had a really good selection of movies. I mean, nowadays it's like, you know, they have like the random shit, and then they have like movie collections and kids movies, but nowadays it's like there's barely anything there. So I don't usually go to Walmart for movies anymore, but today, you know, after I went to Zia's, I got 2 movies from Walmart, and and I'll show you here in a bit. But I went to Walmart because I didn't spend as like, I still had money left after I went to Zia's today, and when it's like 9 something, or it's like 9:24 at night right now. Like I said at the very beginning of this, I'm watching season 1 of Angry Video Game Nerd, because I'm gonna binge like his entire show here, because like I think he's up to like 15 seasons now, I believe. So I'm just gonna watch him every day until I watch the whole thing, because I love AVGN. He's hilarious. But anyways, so I had a few bucks on me from Zia's, so I went to Walmart and I found me a couple movies, and one of them is this asylum movie here, Robot Apocalypse. Now, I think I said it once, and it was either a movie video or a gaming video or another movie talk. Why do I keep doing that? I don't know why I keep doing that. I apologize. I am a huge sucker for robots. I love movie robots. I love, you know, friggin' Transformers, every incarnation of Mechagodzilla, or just robots from movies all in general. So I found this, and I'm like, I saw this cover at Walmart, and I'm like, this is the first movie I got from Walmart here. I saw this, and I'm like, holy shit, look at all the robots in the back. And then I saw the back of this cover, I'm like, holy shit, look at all the robots. So, and then I saw the Asylum logo, and I'm like, oh shit, it's an Asylum movie. I've never even heard of this. I never even heard of this movie. So, yeah, I just love, like, how the cover explains itself. Like, you have, like, I guess, like, some, like, in the future, like, it literally says Robot Apocalypse, right? Like, machines take over the world. And I love how it says in the tradition of Terminator. So, the way this movie literally looks is like, it's Terminator, but without the time travel. Like, this whole movie, it takes place, in the future war. So, it's like, it's its own movie, but that's kind of what it looks like based on this cover here. So, yeah, I can't wait to see this movie, straight up. I've never, Tito Ortiz, I've never even heard, I think that's Tito Ortiz. I mean, it wouldn't be, or, you know, him on the cover, I guess. I wouldn't be him or whatever, but, like I said, I've never even heard of this movie, so I actually can't wait to see this, because it's freaking robots. I'm a huge robot guy, so I love movie robots. So, yeah, can't really say much about this movie, because, like I said, I've never even heard of this. This, like, just came out of the blue for me, really. So, and it's so weird how you can find Asylum movies at Walmart, and this was like 10 bucks. Well, 10.18 or 10.78 or some shit like that. But it's so crazy how you find Asylum movies at Walmart. Like, I always just find that so insane, but when you see an Asylum movie, you grab it. So, yeah, just that's all I really got to say about this movie, really, to be honest with you. But like I said, we're about halfway through this month's movie haul. So yeah. Alright, now, after I, you know, okay, now this one I'm just going to go right to the point here. No introductions. But here we have a Nicolas Cage movie. This is a first for this series. Color Out of Space, based on the short story by H.P. Lovecraft. Now the thing is, I have read Lovecraft's work. I've read At the Mountains of Madness. It's At the Mountains of Madness and Other Tales of Horror. And then there was like another, like, Best of H.P. Lovecraft, I guess. And in one of those two books, Color Out of Space was one of those stories. And I kid you not. I kid you freaking not. This movie, I mean, I know it's based on the story and everything, but the family, the Gardner family that's in this story, that's in this movie, I kid you not, when you read the actual short story, none of this happens. Like, the Gardner family is only mentioned in, like, one paragraph out of the whole thing. So because I watched this first before reading the short story, and I just so can't believe that in the actual story this family is only mentioned like I said, in maybe one paragraph or two. But aside from that, this is a crazy ass movie. I mean, look at this cover. Even though Nicolas Cage's eyes are covered by the price tag, and then look at the daughter. Look at this. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, that's funny. Look at this shit. Look at this. Whoever packaged this movie, like, put the actual DVD upside down. Look at this. What the hell? Oh my god, somebody actually freaking... Wow, somebody put the... Oh, shit. Wow, almost dropped it. That was a good save, though, right? Okay, that's actually funny. Whoever put this in there, put it in there upside down. Okay, that's, I got nothing for that, but that is actually kind of funny. But this movie, it's, apparently there's supposed to be like a trilogy of this. The director of this movie, Richard Stanley, he was supposed to make 2 more movies based off of Lovecraft's work. It was supposed to be the Lovecraftian trilogy, and the second movie was supposed to be the Dunwich Horror, which, spoilers if you give a damn, because I've read the Dunwich Horror, and Dunwich Horror is about, like, this dude in this country town who asks a ancient deity, I think Yog-Sothoth, I think his name was, and it's this the thing of all knowledge, and it's, oh god, it would make the aliens in Godzilla look gorgeous compared to this ugly son of a bitch. But he makes a deal. Some country dude makes a deal with this thing to impregnate his younger daughter, and freaking she gives birth to, and because of that, she gives birth to one kid who's normal, and the other kid who becomes the Dunwich Horror, and he grows up semi-normal, but he's not really human. I mean, from the age of 6, he has sideburns, and, you know, from the age of 6, he has, like, freaking Elvis sideburns or some shit, and then when he becomes a teenager, he's, like, basically, the Dunwich Horror is basically a demonic Bigfoot. That's the best way I can describe this thing. So, apparently, Richard Stanley was supposed to make that story into a movie, which, in all perfect honesty, like, there have been a bunch of movies about cosmic horror, because that's what Lovecraft mainly focused on, is fear of the unknown and what kinds of crazy shit in other dimensions or whatever. Um, there have been movies that they mention his work, they mention it like it's a completely different movie, but they throw in Lovecraftian elements. A great example is the movie Underwater. For those of you who have seen it, Cthulhu's in the movie. It's not a direct translation of Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu, but that creature's in the movie. So yeah, so the fact that there's like a direct adaptation of Lovecraft's work is really good. The CG in this movie is actually really good for whatever budget this movie had. It's very well worth the watch, despite who's in it. Despite that, Nicolas Cage is in it. But it's a really, really trippy ass movie. I mean, just look at this thing. Look at then the color out of space. It's no joke. That's what it's a alien creature, but it's literally an energy beast. It's this thing. See where my thumb is? It's this thing right here. That's the alien, and it goes around making crops turn to shit, and it takes over everyone's mind and basically tears this family apart and just drives everyone crazy. But and there is some blood and gore in the movie because it's Lovecraft. He put it this way: you watch this movie, right? Lovecraft, well, it says HP, but his name is Howard Phillips. Howard Phillips Lovecraft makes Stephen King look like Cartoon Network when it comes to his shit. When it comes to his stories. I mean, I have read some of his stuff. At the one story that is actually not terrifying is At the Mountains of Madness, because it talks about talks about finding an alien race in the Arctic, and along with a bunch of fossils and shit. So that's like my favorite story that I've read by him. But you look at this movie and it's insane. And the reason why that and before I go any further, apparently this movie had a very limited theatrical release, but I never saw any ads for it when it came out. I know this came out in the 2010s. It says 2019, like 2019 this came out. Or 2019. I saw this movie on the Amazon Fire Stick. So, and I wanted to get this movie on DVD for a long time, actually. Like I said, the CG in it is actually really good for whatever budget they had, and the reason why that, I guess the idea of the trilogy is done for, or I read something about the universe, about the live action Lovecraftian universe here, where apparently where Richard Stanley got arrested for, put it this way, it's, taking an interest in kids that's not very, he did something a little too touchy-feely with somebody, and, sorry, I didn't mean to say poor, but, and the asshole got arrested for it, for whatever, so, yeah, I didn't mean to say poor. Please excuse that. I screwed that up. Being real with y'all, I screwed that part up. And the guy got arrested. He did something. I don't know if it was what I said, but that's what I read. And then another one just said he just got arrested for something, for some serious offense, and they were supposed to find another director for Dunwich Horror, but when it comes to the film industry, I don't know, there's so much crazy shit that happened behind the scenes of the film industry, so. But for what this movie is, I hope that Dunwich Horror gets made. I hope that this trilogy gets finished. I do hope we get 2 more movies. We get Dunwich Horror, and then I can't remember what the other story was that was going to be made into a movie to go in this trilogy, but I do hope the other two movies get made here, because, you know, everything is starting, after the pandemic, everything's starting to get put back together, so, yeah. I know I've talked about a bunch of other Lovecraft stuff other than the main topic here, but, you know, when it comes to stuff based off of stories, you can talk about it for hours, but, you know, trying not to talk too much about it, not to talk too long, you know, like, you get the idea. So yeah, but overall, definitely check this movie out. It's like an hour and 40 something, it's like an hour and 40 some odd minutes long here, so it's like, hour and 40 minutes. Definitely check this movie out. It's well worth it. Special effects, great. Storyline itself, crazy as all hell. And it just makes you see what kind of brain H.P. Lovecraft had. You know? So seeing a direct adaptation of his work, it's, like I said, it makes Stephen King look like Cartoon Network. So yeah. Yeah, that's all I got to say about this movie. And wow, that was a while. Like 11 minutes of just talking about one movie. I know I've talked longer about movies though. Okay. We're almost done with, the movie hall here. It is 10:20 at night. So I'm like watching 12 minutes of season 1 of Angry Video Game Nerd, and I come in here talk about a movie. Damn. Alright, so the next movie we have, it's one of Steven Spielberg's classics. Right up there with Jurassic Park. Frickin' Indiana Jones. Now, I bet y'all, some of y'all are probably wondering, "Oh, Rego, what the hell took you so long to talk about those movies?" Well, in all honesty, I've never had these movies ever. I've been a movie fanatic ever since the age of 4, and I have seen all 4 of these movies. I remember when Indiana Jones 4, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which, I'm going to say this right now, is my favorite one because it deals with aliens. Aliens and ancient cultures is one of my favorite subjects to talk about, so that's why Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is my favorite out of the bunch. But I still do love the first 3 movies that came before it. Now, this one, I know Temple of Doom comes before this. I know, like, story-wise, it goes Temple of Doom, then Raiders of the Lost Ark, then Last Crusade, and then Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But I guess it's like with these movies, it's one of those movie franchises where you get them, where you have to get them in order, cinema-wise, not story-wise. So, I don't really have too many memories of this. It's been a long-ass time since I've seen any Indiana Jones anything, to be perfectly honest with you. I know there's like a, I don't know when it was made, but tell me in the comments section down there if anyone has ever seen a TV series called Young Indiana Jones. I know it exists, but I've never watched it, so is it any good? Anyway, yeah, so, like I said, the only memory that I have of this is the iconic, is this screenshot here, the iconic, boulder scene, which has been parodied God knows how many times over the years, but, that's, like, literally the only memory that I have of this movie, so... Yeah, like I said, I don't really have too many memories of it, but, yeah, I'm gonna start, collecting these movies now, because I'm a huge, when it comes to movies, my favorite movie types are franchises. I love movie franchises because I love sequels. I love movie series, and, yeah, so I'm gonna start, collecting, one of the most iconic adventurers in cinema history. Now, I think the other character, I think Alan Quatermain came before Indiana Jones. I think. I'm not sure. Somebody answered that question in the comments too. My two questions when it comes to this character are, number one, has anyone watched Young Indiana Jones? And number two, did Alan Quartermain come before Indiana Jones? Because I know both of them are basically the same character. So, yeah. Like I said, say it once, say it again. Don't have too many fond memories of this, but it's Indiana Jones, so why? I don't know. I can't believe it took me this long to even get these movies, to even start getting this series. Almost done. Surprising I made it last this long. Okay, so in my last movie haul, I think it was my last one. I don't remember. But you all remember... Ah, shit. Look at this. All of those are from when I started doing these movie hauls. Crazy, right? But hey, when it comes to being a nerd, this is like heaven right here. It's all these crazy movies. And if you want to see my opinions on all these, go back and watch my other, my first four movie haul videos. So, somewhere in that stack, I'm looking right at it, there's the Planet of the Apes franchise. Well, I got another one of those movies, and it's one of the older movies, Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Now, I don't know where this one, what do you call? Oh, Rowdy McDowell's in this one. Nice. What do you call? I don't know. I think this one takes place after Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and I did try to find that. I did try to find that one because I know after the very first Planet of the Apes, I know it goes Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and then I think this one's the third movie, because you got like the apes. You can see right here the apes in the astronaut suits. Like they go back in like to the 90s or some shit like that. They go back like to the year 1991, I think, is where Conquest takes place. But no, this is going to be a short little bit here because, honest to God, I don't remember seeing this. I think I've seen like every Planet of the Apes movie but this one. But you know, I'm trying to collect all of the Apes movies. So, like, all Planet of the Apes movies, because, deadass, I really want to do a binge on Planet of the Apes. Seriously. An entire science fiction franchise about talking apes becoming the dominant species. I mean, the concept behind it may sound silly, but when you watch these movies, it's like, especially the prequel trilogy from the 2010s, it's badass. So... yeah, like I said, I don't think... I think this is, like, the only Planet of the Apes movie that I have not seen, ever. So, yeah, I guess whenever I get to it is whenever I get to it, really. Now, whatever. Whatever, on to the next movie. Alright. It is about, it is 10:50, okay, it's 11 o'clock at night here, so, alright, what do you call, so this is empty, let's see if I can make it in the recycling. Alright, let's try this again. Son of a bitch. Come on. Come on, I gotta be able to make it this time. Come on. Gotcha, bitch. Alright. Let's keep this going, shall we? Damn it. Give me a sec. Nice and refreshing. Okay. Almost belched, but thank God I didn't do it out loud. Okay, so now for this next movie, we all know Frankenstein, right? We all know that story. Written by Mary Shelley. One of the most influential horror stories ever written. You know, about a scientist who, who takes people's body parts and resurrects a guy that he made out of people's body parts, right? A lot of times they call it a monster, but I guess he is. I mean, it's a dude made of human parts, so why do they call him a monster? But anyway, the character has been in... The Frankenstein monster has been in God knows how many movies. Most notable is the 1931 movie with Boris Karloff playing the infamous title character. Well, the monster anyway, not the scientist that made him. But one of those movies that introduce, not really introduce, but has the Frankenstein monster in it, is this movie, I, Frankenstein. Now, this movie has fallen into obscurity. Now, I remember when this came out in 2013. Wow, this came out in 2013? Holy crap, I thought this came out in 2010. Huh. Okay. Well, basically, for those of you who have not seen this movie, basically what this movie's about is it's the Frankenstein monster, played by Aaron Eckhart, which is very interesting. The monster basically has found a way to live his own life after dealing with his creator, Victor Frankenstein, where he has gone through the centuries of living like a regular person. And at one point he is found, they call him Adam in this movie, which is a generic name. They could have literally just called him Frankenstein, to be honest with you. I don't know why they couldn't just call him that. But he gets found by the Order of the Angels or some shit like that, or Gargoyles, I think. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie. I've seen this movie, I think, like twice, I believe. And they fight demons. They literally do, like, gargoyles fighting demons, or they're angels and demons. I can't really remember who the good guys are, but they recruit him, basically. And Adam sends the demons to hell, and then he ends up fighting a demon boss at the end of the movie. You know, it's an hour and a half, which is kind of crazy. It's an hour and a half of the Frankenstein monster in an action, and it's like, literally this movie is basically, if you were to take Constantine and Ghost Rider and mix in with Legion, that's literally what this movie feels like. So, but I remember I enjoyed it. It's got a dope soundtrack, though. The soundtrack is heavy rock and roll. You know, I'm always gonna... The soundtrack is, like, the main thing I remember about this movie. So, yeah, but I do remember enjoying it when I first watched it way back in the early 2010s when it came out. I didn't see this in theaters. I remember seeing trailers for it, but never saw it in theaters. But I did watch it on TV a couple times, and hell, I thought it was awesome. Well, no, the first I said I've seen it twice. I have seen this movie only twice. I saw it on TV once, and then I rented it from a library down the street from the house here. So yeah, I enjoyed this movie, and it's a fun little hour and a half with a dope soundtrack. So yeah, it's so weird how they took the Frankenstein monster and put him in this. It's really weird. I mean, when you look at, like, here's the Frankenstein monster right here. Actually, if I take off the price tag here, there's a better shot of him on the front of the cover here. What do you call? Yeah, see, look right here. You can kinda see well, you can see it better on this screenshot here. You can kinda see the stitches, you know, since the Frankenstein monster, what do you call, was, you know, stitched together parts, I guess. But I guess on the makeup they could have done better. You know, it's Aaron Eckhart, you know, the guy who plays, hope I get this right. It's the dude who plays Two-Face in the Dark Knight trilogy, who plays the Frankenstein monster here. So they could have made him, I mean, they could have done a little tribute to Boris Karloff, to the Boris Karloff version, by making him look less human and a little more monster-ish, you know what I mean? Like, I understand the character, you know, has lived into the modern day, or, you know, at least the time when this movie came out, but they could have at least done a little better on the makeup, I guess, now looking at it. But then you have this crazy shit going on. So, I just remember it as, like, it's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's just a crazy hour and a half to, little fun, crazy hour and a half to sit through with some seriously dope rock and roll music to it. Okay, so okay, it is 15 to midnight, and we got one more movie. As I finished watching season 1 of Angry Video Game Nerd, amazing web series. I know he has a playlist, but if you want to, you can go. I'm building a playlist of it, which by the 15th of this month, I'll have watched all 15 seasons, and I'll have a playlist for you guys to go watch. But on to our last movie. Now, have you ever had that movie that you see at either Walmart or anywhere that sells movies, particularly ones like Walmart and Zia's, and then you look at that movie and you're like, you know it's straight to DVD, but then you're like, you know, I've never heard of that movie. Well, the last movie that I have for you today, and it's still today because the day don't end until midnight here. And this was like the first movie I saw at Walmart. I go to the at a Walmart. There's like 5 Walmarts around me here. This was the Walmart out in Henderson where I got Robot Apocalypse here. And I go in the movie section, and the movie I'm going to show you, this is like the first movie I saw, and it was like $10, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And it's this movie, Jurassic Island. Now, like I said, I've never even heard of this. I've never heard of this movie. Okay, that's kind of weird. The picture's bent. Okay. That's kind of interesting. Alright. Okay, so now, and this was the only copy that they had at Walmart. Like, this, I think, was like the last copy, so I'm happy I picked it up. Now, really interesting thing about this, have an interesting looking T-Rex, very prehistoric park looking, and then you have, look at this raptor. The raptor design looks very familiar. It looks like the Jurassic games. And I wonder if this is made by the same production company that made Jurassic Games, and if so, the CG in this movie should be pretty decent. You know, like if they're using the same friggin' cover, if they're using the same raptor design here, then you know it should. From the back of this, the CG doesn't look half bad, to be perfectly honest, but I don't know what the hell this crazy guy's doing. What's this pirate looking ship doing here? And then there's, you know, whatever that is, and then there's the T-Rex here. So yeah, whatever this movie has in store is whatever this movie has in store. You know, it's a dinosaur movie. That was the first thing I saw. I'm like, oh shit, a new dinosaur movie. So I just snagged it. Right, so there's all the movies that I got. I know I said at the beginning of this that I didn't get as many movies as I usually do, but I think that is the same amount of movies that I usually get. So as always, I had a lot of fun doing this. Again, I'm sorry there's no figure unboxing, but there might be in the future here. Whether it be for the movie haul in July or you know, or sometime during this month or whatever, you know. I know there's gonna be another unboxing coming soon. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know this video it's not as long as the rest, but as the other ones, but it's long still. But still, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, if you haven't done so already. I really do appreciate it, because I'm trying to hit 400 subscribers so I can do a Q&A. Never done a Q&A before, so I want to do a 400 subscriber Q&A as a thank you. So please share this channel to anybody else that you know out there who watches YouTube like crazy. So yeah, also go, if you look on my banner, up that way, I hope I'm pointing to the right place, links to my Instagram, LizardMan2021, and my DeviantArt for some dinosaur and kaiju fan art are up there if you want to go check me out there. So yeah, yeah, this is Tim W. Rago, and I'm gonna say cheers, and see you all in whatever video I decide to do next.